The entertainment world stood in collective shock when news broke that Sean Diddy Combs, the legendary hip-hop mogul, had been hit with a staggering $100 million default judgment in a sexual assault lawsuit. It was the kind of scandal that no one saw coming, a seismic shift in an industry that thrived on larger-than-life personalities, with Diddy towering among them. For years, Diddy had been the golden boy of hip-hop. A music producer, rapper, fashion icon, and business mogul, he had crafted an image of invincibility. But that aura of invincibility had begun to crack in recent years. Rumors had swirled about Diddy's private life, whispers of turbulent relationships, excess, and a darker side to his empire building. However, nothing concrete had ever come to light. That all changed with a single lawsuit filed by a man named Derek Lee Cardello Smith. Derek Lee Cardello Smith, a once unknown figure, had been catapulted into the public eye overnight when he filed a sexual assault lawsuit against the hip-hop mogul.
All right, thank you, sir.
Or Your Honor.
Thank you. So I do see that we do have a proof of service on Mr. Combs, but for purposes of this hearing, you filed a motion for a temporary restraining order and/or a preliminary injunction to stop all sales of the property and assets attached to or involved with said property based on the interest of plaintiff and plaintiff's connections to defendant's sexual assault of plaintiff Derek Lee Cardello Smith, requiring a preliminary injunction and/or a temporary restraining order. Do you wish to argue the motion today, sir?
Yes, Your Honor.
All right, you may proceed then.
Okay, the purpose of it is based on two actions taken by Mr. Combs himself, directly with me here. We did a live one-on-one visit in our prison visiting room. There's two meetings within the past 2 weeks with Mr. Combs on one meeting, and then a financial advisor on the other meeting on Mr. Combs' behalf. And he stated that he would make me an offer to end the case and what happened to me because of other things that he stated he has going on in his life that require his money right now, and he wants to sell everything off. And he made me a financial offer of $2.3 million.
The allegations were harrowing. Cardello Smith, a former aspiring music producer, claimed that in 1997, during one of Diddy's infamous parties, he had been drugged and sexually assaulted. According to the lawsuit, Derek had been invited to one of Diddy's exclusive after-parties, the kind of event where deals were made and futures were shaped. He thought it was his big break, a chance to network with one of the most powerful figures in music. The party had taken place at a lavish Manhattan penthouse. Derek said in court documents where the champagne flowed freely and the music pulsed until the early hours of the morning. But as the night wore on, things took a dark turn. Derek alleged that he had been offered a drink by someone in Diddy's entourage, and after consuming it, he began to feel disoriented. His memory of the events that followed was hazy, but he vividly recalled waking up in a bedroom, unable to move, with Diddy hovering over him. The details in the lawsuit were graphic, painting a picture of a predator taking advantage of a vulnerable young man. He claimed that he had been threatened by members of Diddy's inner circle, warned that his career would be over before it started if he ever spoke out. The power dynamics at play were immense. Diddy was a force in the industry, and Derek was just another hopeful trying to break through. He had no leverage, no power, and no one to turn to. It wasn't until years later, during the height of the Me Too movement, that Derek found the courage to speak out. The cultural tide had shifted, and more victims were coming forward with their stories of abuse at the hands of powerful men. Inspired by the bravery of others, Derek decided it was time to seek justice, filing the lawsuit in a New York court. Initially, the lawsuit didn't make headlines. Diddy's legal team had dismissed the claims as baseless, calling it an opportunistic attempt to shake down a successful businessman. They issued a statement calling Derek's accusations false, malicious, and without merit. But as the months dragged on, something unexpected happened. Diddy's legal team failed to respond to critical court filings. Whether it was a strategic miscalculation or sheer arrogance, no one knew for certain. The legal proceedings dragged on without any defense from Diddy's camp, and eventually the court issued a default judgment, a legal term that meant Diddy had essentially lost the case by not showing up to defend himself. the judge awarded Derek Lee Cardello Smith $100 million in damages, a sum so massive that it sent shockwaves through the entertainment industry. The $100 million default judgment marked a turning point in Diddy's career, one that would forever be tied to scandal and controversy. Whether he would emerge from it unscathed, as he had from so many previous challenges, was unclear. But one thing was certain: the golden era of Sean "Diddy" Combs had come to an abrupt and brutal end.